What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So, in today's video, we got to talk about Bradley Beal. So, there has been reports that the Washington Wizards and Bradley Beal are working on a trade, and the team that is reported that Bradley Beal would like to be traded to the most is the Miami Heat. Now, in this video, I will break down a trade between the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat, and I'll also break down if Miami should trade for a player like Bradley Beal. So, without further ado, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Alright, we all switched over, and as you guys can see, this is an article from The Spun. And the title says, Bradley Beal's reportedly had one preferred trade destination. So let's read into this and let's get into it, man. So it starts off with, this week it was reported that the Washington Wizards and Bradley Beal will work together on a trade if the franchise chooses to rebuild. Beal, who turns 30 later this month, has been mentioned in trade rumors for several years now. According to Fred Katz of The Athletic, as the three-time All-Star has considered his future during the last few off-seasons, the one team he has stood out for him the most as a potential new home is the Miami Heat. Now, let's scroll down, let's read into it a little bit more. If Beal had a formal list, which he never has before, then Miami would have been right there at the top of it, Katz wrote on Thursday. So, yeah, in this article, it's looking like they're stating that Miami would be the prime destination for Bradley Beal. And with that being said, to actually break this trade down, we have to actually take a look at Bradley Beal as a player and also take a look at the contracts for both teams. So we will start off by just taking a look at Bradley Beal to see if he could actually help this Miami Heat team. So let's get to it. Alright, so we do have Bradley Beal's stats right here for the 2022-2023 season, and as we can see, he only played 50 games, so he didn't play the full season. Now, he averaged 23.2 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 5.4 assists. His field goal percentage was 50.6%. His three-point percentage was 36.5%. His free throw percentage was 84.2%, and his effective field goal percentage was 55.1%. Now, we will scroll down so we could just see how good he has been over his career, and we can see that right here. And something that's very great to actually see is that this year right here, last year, it was his most efficient season. As we can see, like I said, he had a field goal percentage of 50.6, which is the best field goal percentage he's ever had in his career. So he is actually coming off of a career high when it comes to just field goal percentage. As we can see, he was 29 and he's going to be 30 in the upcoming year. He does play the shooting guard position, and with us getting all of that information on Bradley Beal as a player, let's take a look at the salaries, because as we all know, it's always about the money, man. It's always about the money. So, man, let's get to it. Let's take a look at the Washington Wizards' salary. Alright, so we have switched over, and like I always say, shout out to Hoops Hype. They make everything so easy for everyone to understand. As we can see, the team's payroll, well, the Washington Wizards' payroll was this amount right here, $152 million. And they had a top 10 payroll that year. So that's not good, but we are talking about the 2023-2024 season. So let's scroll down and let's take a look at these salaries. So something that stands out right away is the amount that Bradley Beal is getting paid in the 2022 and the 2023-2024 season. As we can see, he's getting paid $46 million. It's right here, guys, if you don't see it, right here. $46 million. Now, that's a huge salary. And if you continue to look further, he is going to be on contract for a long time. As we can see, he will be under contract until the 2026-2027 year. And in that year, he'll be making almost $60 million. So when you think about that, it's just like, man, that's a lot of salary to trade for, if you really think about it. So that's the salary right there. And now let's just take a look at the Miami Heat's salary. So we have switched over to the Miami Heat salary, and they were 13th when it came to the team payroll, as we can see, for the 2022-2023 season. And let's take a look at their salary. So they're already paying high prices on Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is the highest paid player on the team. Right below him is Bam Adebayo, and right below him is Kyle Lowry. Now, they do got Duncan Robinson on contract until the 2025 and 2026 season. And they do got Tyler Hero, who will be getting paid a big amount next year. So they have a lot of options to match that Bradley Beal salary, because they have a lot of players who are getting paid top dollar. Now, for the trade, the two players that I would definitely be trying to get rid of if I'm the Miami Heat is Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry. Now, I know Kyle Lowry was pretty good for this team, but the reason I would say Kyle Lowry is because it gives the Washington Wizards some type of incentive to actually perform the trade, because it would be Kyle Lowry's last year on that contract. They would have cap space after next year. So that would give, the Washington Wizards damn near $30 million to play with. Now, Duncan Robinson, that would be the contract that you're just trying to get rid of if you're the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson, yeah, he had some decent moments in the playoffs and then in the finals, but come on now, you don't want to be you don't want to be paying a player that only shoots $18 million. So that would be my thought process, and more than likely what I could see this type of trade looking like is just Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and a first-round pick. Now, let's take a look at the first-round picks, man. So, the Miami Heat, they do have their 2024 first-round pick. They do have their 2025 first-round pick. And they do have their 2026 first-round pick. Now, me personally, more than likely, as Miami, that if you want Bradley Beal, you are going to have to get rid of one of those picks, unless you're trying to include Bam Adebayo or Tyler Hero into that trade. Which, if I'm Miami, I wouldn't be trying to include my young players. So, more than likely, they'd have to get rid of one of those picks. And I'd probably get rid of that 2024 first-round pick and just, package Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry, who would be an expiring contract, into that trade. And hey, I feel like that'll be a good trade if I'm looking at it in Miami's view. Now, for the Washington Wizards' point of view, I don't mind getting Kyle Lowry, but Duncan Robinson, I would be trying to, flip to somebody else. Now, if you do end up going with the Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson trade, if I'm the Washington Wizards, I'm trying to get multiple picks. I'm trying to at least get 2 more first-round picks. At least. I'm trying to get that 2024 and that 2025 pick, maybe even a 2026 pick as well. And that's just my thoughts on this type of trade. That's what I feel like it would look like. I feel like it would be Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and maybe 2 first-round picks from Miami for them to get Bradley Beal. Now, this trade, it could be interesting because, as we all know, Bradley Beal, he does have a no-trade clause, and with that, he gets to choose what team he wants to be traded to. So, Bradley Beal could definitely put pressure on the front office to make the trade with Miami. So, the front office, they can't really choose which trade is best for their organization because, Bradley Beal, he can just stop that trade. So, hey, I feel like it'll be a pretty good trade on both ends. If Miami do make the trade, they get a all-star player in Bradley Beal while also keeping their young talent if they can. And if the Washington Wizards make that trade, they do get an expiring contract in Kyle Lowry and a couple of first-round picks because, as we know, this team, it is definitely in need of a rebuild. But, hey, that's my thoughts on this trade. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the trade. If you were the Miami Heat, would you make that trade that I'm suggesting? Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and 2 first-round picks. And if you are the Washington Wizards, would you make that trade? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.